guys, I hope you're practicing accountancy as much as possible because practice is the only key to be an expert in it. Keep on solving as much questions as possible and also increase your daily targets from time to time. If you keep doing so, the myth that accountancy is difficult will not bother you anymore. We discussed about subsidiary books in our previous session and we learned what are cash books and how to prepare single and double column cash book. In today's session, we are going to discuss the third category of the cash book, that is the petty cash book. So let's not waste our time and gear up for learning some basic concepts of recording business transactions. We discussed that cash book is also known as the book of original entry and we discussed how to prepare single and double column cash book in our previous session. In this session, we'll see the concept of petty cash book, which is a book in which large number of small transactions are recorded by a petty cashier. So let's move into detail with the concept of petty cash book. In every organization, a large number of small payments are made. These payments may be relating to stationery, refreshments, conveyance, postage, or any other, which are generally repetitive in nature and cannot be avoided. If all these expenses are recorded in the main cash book, the cashier may be overburdened and the cash book may also become very bulky. To avoid this, one more cashier known as the petty cashier is appointed who maintains a separate cash book to record these transactions, including the transactions of small payments. Such cash book is called the petty cash book. Okay. So now, what is petty cash book? Petty cash book is a separate cash book maintained to record large number of small payments. And who is a petty cashier? The person who maintains the petty cash book. Remember, he is different from the main cashier. Okay? How does a petty cashier work? Correct, he works on the impress system. Under this system, a definite sum is given to the petty cashier at the beginning of a certain period. Okay? The petty cashier makes some small payments out of this impressed amount. So now what is impressed amount? The sum given to the petty cashier at the beginning of a certain period. A certain period may be a month or a week as the company norms say. Okay? And when he has spent the substantial portion of the impressed amount, he gets reimbursement from the head cashier or the main cashier. Thus, he again has the full impressed amount at the beginning of the next period. The reimbursement may be made on a weekly, fortnightly or monthly basis depending upon the frequency of such payments. Okay. So now let's move to the format of petty cash book. What is a basic format of a petty cash book? First is the amount received column. Here we mention the amount received from the main cashier. Next is date, particulars, voucher number, which we generally do not mention for our examination purposes. Next is the amount paid column, where we mention the total amount paid. Next is the most important concept of the petty cash book, which is analysis of payment. Here we have to make an analysis of the payment, which is that it can be a postage expense or a telephone, conveyance, stationery or any other which is known as the miscellaneous expense. Now, if you see from an examination point of view, it is the most difficult or the most tricky part of the petty cash book. Here, we need to practice thoroughly to understand that what expense will get into what type of the category of payment. So, relax, we'll understand this with the help of an illustration. In this case, Mr. Varun is the petty cashier of Messrs. Rajat Traders and he has received Rs 1000, which we know is known as the impressed amount on 1st January 2020. Okay, for the month, details of petty expenses are listed as here. On January 2nd, we have made an expense for auto fare Rs 55. Now here we have mentioned Rs 1000 in the amount received column as it is our impressed amount. Here we have mentioned the date and particular. Here we need to mention a brief transaction, okay, just as we did in the single and the double column cash book. So we write here auto fare and the amount paid Rs 55. Now if you see, conveyance is the suitable head for such expense. So we mentioned rupees 55 in the conveyance head. Okay. Next is the courier services, rupees 40. So we write here courier services and rupees 40 in the amount paid column. Now if you see, postage is the most suitable head for courier service. So we mention rupees 40 in the postage head. Next is postal stamps, rupees 100. Now as it clearly say, we have to mention rupees 100 in the postage column, and we mention rupees 100 in the amount paid also, and mention as postal stamps in the particulars. Next, erasers, sharpeners and pencils, rupees 225. Now we know that this is known as the stationery. So we write here stationery and rupees 225 in the amount paid column. And as again, we mention rupees 225 in the stationery head. I hope it is very clear to you. Next is the refreshments of rupees 85. So we write here refreshments and rupees 85 in the amount paid column. Now if you see, it cannot be mentioned under the postage, telephone, conveyance or stationery head. So we write miscellaneous expenses as rupees 85, which are known to be for refreshments. Next, computer stationery, rupees 165. Now as it clearly say, it is a computer item expense of rupees 165, and as it was mentioned as stationery, we mention it in the stationery head of rupees 165. Next, STD call charges of rupees 87. Now we mention here STD charges of rupees 87, and if you see, telephone is the most suitable head for such expense. So we write 87 in the telephone head. Next is the bus fare of rupees 24 plus rupees 6, which we know comes out to be rupees 30. So we write here bus fare rupees 30, and again we mention it in the conveyance head. Next, unloading charges of rupees 50. We write here unloading cost, or you can write an unloading charges or expense, whatever you feel okay, rupees 50 in the amount paid column. Now if you see, again postage, telephone, conveyance and stationery are not a suitable head, so we write rupees 50 into the miscellaneous head. Remember, unloading is not the unloading of persons, otherwise it would have gone into the conveyance head. It relates to the unloading of goods, so we write it here in the miscellaneous head. Last is the telephone charges of rupees 25. So we write here telephone expense rupees 25 in the amount paid column, and again and the analysis we write it under the telephone head. So here we complete all the list of our expenses. Now the question arises, how to close the petty cash book? It is very simple. All we need to do is total the amount paid column and the respective heads of the analysis of such payments. The total comes out to be rupees 862 and 140, 112, 85, 390 and rupees 135 under the analysis heads. So now if you see, we got rupees 1000 as the impressed amount and we have spent rupees 862. So we still have rupees 138 as the balance left on 31st January. So we write here balance carried forward rupees 138. And now we transfer such balance on 1st of February to our amount received column, that is rupees 138 as balance brought forward. And as we read earlier, we get the reimbursement from the main cashier. So we write here cash received of rupees 862 on 1st Feb. So if you total it, we get rupees 1000 again as our impressed amount on 1st February 2020. Alright, I hope it is very clear to you. So relax, all you require is a lot of practice and you can easily make the petty cash book. Alright, but before that we need to know what are the advantages of maintaining a petty cash book. I mean, why do we need to maintain a petty cash book in addition with the main cash book? Okay, so the first advantages is that it reduces the pressure of the head cashier. It reduces the pressure of work so that the errors are less. Okay, which is our second advantage, that it reduces the errors and omissions. Alright, because if you see a lot of small payments of even a negligible amount, which is even less than rupees 100, are maintained and paid in a large number. So if we maintain those in a main cash book, it would increase the chances of errors. So maintaining petty cash book reduces the chances of errors and omissions. Alright, and also it reduces the volume of the cash book, which if we record in the main cash book would look very bulky. Okay, and the last and the most important advantage is that it helps us in controlling the petty expenses. Okay, we must know that how much amount is being paid on what all transactions. Okay, we must know that a lot of amount is being spent on, I say, stationery or conveyance, so that we can control it, because such amounts are very negligible when it comes to the whole company, but it may affect our profit and loss in a very serious way. So we really need to control the petty expenses. Okay, I hope you understood it very thoroughly, and I hope you must have find it easy. Okay, practice as much as possible and feel free to mention all your queries in the comment section. I'll try to cover each of them further. Please share this video with all your friends in need, as it would definitely be helpful. Till then, stay tuned for our next session. Thank you.